Welcome to the next session, data flow between UVM components. In the last session, you have learned the implementation details of every UVM classes, and you might have noticed that there we need a connection between few components together before they start actually working. So in this session, you will be learning where is a connection needed between UVM components and how do we can connect these components together. So before that, you need to understand what is transaction level modeling. TLM or transaction level modeling is a modeling style in digital system where the details of communication among different modules are separated from the details of the actual protocol. Instead of connecting different modules with all the required wires, we will be creating an abstraction layer in class with all the information required for a set of data transactions, and we call it as transaction. The TLM concept was introduced by Synopsys, and there were two standards defined for TLM, which are TLM1 and TLM2, and it's modeled in System C as an industrial standard, which is adopting a standard practice of defining the transaction level modeling communication. Now in UVM, a subset of all these TLM1 and 2 standards were introduced in Systemverilog language, and it's made as part of the UVM library. This is all you need to understand about TLM in UVM. The communication between any two classes are made between a port and an export, or an analysis port and an analysis export. So there are the three type of connections are possible in TLM, which is a connection between a port to an export, or a child port to a parent port, and or a parent export to a child export. So this is a case of ports where the request transactions are flowing, and for the response transaction, TLM is defining the ports with a different name, which is called as analysis port. So the request transactions will be flowing through the ports, and the response transactions will be coming through the analysis ports. In the same way, we have analysis exports, and connection between analysis port and export will be there. So these are the most commonly used type of connections based on TLM in UVM. That is a connection between a sequencer and driver, which is a connection of port to an export. And the second type is the analysis port connection, which will be between a monitor and its subscriber. You will see how these are made in the next slide.